Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs of 10th of July. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel, GKToday YouTube. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. So if you find it relevant, you can subscribe to it. Now let's start. Which financial institution has approved $400 million loan to support the Namami Gange program of India? So it has been provided by World Bank, and this program has been started to rejuvenate the river Ganga. Now World Bank has provided financial support to various other initiatives. Recently World Bank approved $750 million for MSME sector. Recently MSME sector was in news as government started Champions portal for MSME sector. Apart from this, recently World Bank approved $500 million for STARS program. Answer in comment box what is the full form of this STARS program. Apart from that, World Bank was also in news as recently Rajiv Topno was appointed as the senior advisor to the executive director of World Bank. In addition to him, recently Abhas Jha was appointed as the World Bank's practice manager for climate change. Which organization is to launch the interface points called Turant Suvidha Kendra? So this will be launched by Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, that is CBIC. So these centers would act as interface point with custom officers for physical submission of documents. Now recently CBIC was also in news as M. Ajit Kumar was appointed as the chairperson of CBIC. CBIC was also in news as recently it started Turant Custom Initiative. Apart from that, it was also in news as recently CBIC launched e-office application. Which union minister represented India in the 4th edition of Virtual Ministerial on Climate Action? So our Environment Minister, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, participated in this event, and this event, that is MOCA, was co-hosted by European Union, China and Canada. So this event was organized to discuss the implementation of Paris Agreement on climate change, and this agreement was under UNFCCC. What is UNFCCC? It is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Now recently Canada was in news as it announced its withdrawal from Tokyo Summer Olympic Games. As per the World Drug Report of United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, which country reported the highest seizure of opium in 2018? So Iran is on top position in terms of seizure of opium, and this report was released by UNODC. What is UNODC? It is United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and the name of the report is World Drug Report. So Iran is on top position in terms of opium seizure, while Afghanistan is on second position and Pakistan is on third position. India is on fourth position in terms of opium. In case of heroin seizure, Iran is on top position while India is on 12th position. Now in terms of drug, there are two important terms. One is golden triangle, another one is golden crescent. Please read about it. Now every year on 26th of June, the International Day Against Drug Trafficking is observed. That means International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking is observed. And recently Indian government also started a drug-free India campaign, and the name of this campaign is Nasha Mukt Bharat, and this campaign was started by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. UNDOC was established in 1997 and the headquarters is in Vienna. Vienna is in Austria, and in fact the headquarters of IAEA and OPEC is also in Austria. The World Zoonoses Day is celebrated on 6th of July to commemorate the work of which biologist? So it is celebrated to commemorate the French biologist Louis Pasteur. On the same day in 1885, Louis Pasteur successfully administered the first vaccine against rabies. Now on this occasion of World Zoonoses Day, that is celebrated on 6th of July, recently UNEP and ILRI jointly released a report, and the title of report is Preventing the Next Pandemic, Zoonotic Disease and How to Break the Chain of Transmission. Now first thing first, what is UNEP? It is United Nations Environment Program. What is ILRI? It is International Livestock Research Institute. So these two organizations released this report, and report is preventing the next pandemic. Now, this term zoonotic, what is the meaning of this term? It means a disease that passes into human from animal source. It may be directly or it may be indirectly, but the disease passes from animal to human. As per the researchers at IIA, that is Indian Institute of Astrophysics, which element is produced in universe by sun-like stars in their later life? So as per the recent study by IIA, lithium is produced in the universe by sun-like stars in their later life. So low mass stars like sun produce lithium during their helium core burning phase. And this is the first time that the clear observational evidence in this context has been considered. Now, coming back to this IIA, so it is an autonomous institute under Department of Science and Technology, and it is situated in Bengaluru. Which Indian state celebrates Farmers' Day on 8th of July to commemorate the birth anniversary of its former Chief Minister? So, Andhra Pradesh celebrate 8th of July as the Farmers' Day to commemorate the birth anniversary of its former Chief Minister Y.S. Rajasekhar Reddy. Now, the present Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh is Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, and this Farmers' Day is celebrated on 8th of July. Now, Andhra Pradesh was also in news because of APEMC. Now, this is an online waste exchange website that has been launched by Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh was also in news because of Poshan Abhiyan. So, Andhra Pradesh is on top position in terms of implementation of this Poshan Abhiyan. Which country has notified the United Nations about its withdrawal from WHO? WHO stands for World Health Organization. So this country is USA. And recently, USA sent the withdrawal notice, and it has mentioned that by 6th of July 2021, USA will withdraw from WHO. Now recently, USA was also in news because of CATSA. Answer in comment box, what is CATSA? USA was also in news because of NASA. NASA is the space agency of USA, and recently NASA was in news as it decided to rename its headquarters in Washington DC after the name of Mary W. Jackson. Now USA was also in news because of USMCA. What is USMCA? It is a trade deal between United States, Mexico and Canada, and it became effective from 1st of July 2020. USA was also in news because of J. Arun Kumar. So recently, J. Arun Kumar, the former Karnataka cricketer, was appointed as the head cricket coach of USA. NSDC, that is National Skill Development Corporation, has partnered with which technology company to provide digital skills to Indian youth? So for this purpose, NSDC has partnered with Microsoft, and after collaboration, they will provide digital skills to more than 1 lakh youth in our country. Who has been reappointed as the chairperson of National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, that is NCLAT? So recently, the tenure of NCLAT chairperson Justice B.L. Bhatt has been extended by 3 months, and this was announced by a notification from MCA. What is MCA? It is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. What is NCLAT? It is National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. Who is the chairperson? Chairperson is Justice B.L. Bhatt. Now, this NCLAT is a tribunal which was formed by the government as per the Companies Act of 2013, and it is responsible for hearing the appeals from the orders of NCLT. NCLT stands for National Company Law Tribunal. So NCLT is also guided by Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and this NCLT is regulated by Companies Act of 2013. What is the name of new short video platform launched by Facebook within its Instagram app? So the name of this platform is Reels, and this has been launched within its Instagram app. Now India is the 4th country to get the Reels feature after Brazil, France and Germany. Now Facebook was also in news as recently Facebook tied up with CBIC to introduce a curriculum on digital safety. Facebook was also in news because of Catch Up. So it is a calling application which has been launched by Facebook. Facebook was also in news because of Jiffy, as recently it acquired Jiffy. Facebook was also in news because of Mapillary. So this is a company which was recently acquired by Facebook, and this company is known for its street level mapping. Facebook was also in news because of its stakes in Jio, and Facebook acquired these stakes through Jadoo Holding. Indian Coast Guard has signed a memorandum of understanding with its counterpart of which country to boost the maritime relationships. So recently, ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard, signed a memorandum of understanding with Indonesia to boost the maritime relationships. Now, Indonesia was also in news due to Mount Merapi. So Mount Merapi is an active volcano of Indonesia, and recently it was in news because of volcanic eruptions. Indonesia was also in news because of Samudra Shakti. So the Samudra Shakti is the bilateral maritime exercise between Indian Navy and Indonesian Navy. Indonesia was also in news because of New Delhi Declaration on rhino species. So this declaration was signed to protect the rhino species. Answer in comment box how many countries are the part of this New Delhi Declaration on Asian rhinos. What is the name of mission undertaken by the Indian Navy to bring back the Indian citizens from overseas during the COVID-19 pandemic? So the name of this operation is Operation Samudra Setu. This was started by Indian Navy. Why it was started? To bring back the Indian citizens from overseas during the pandemic situation. Now there was one more operation, and that was Operation Vande Bharat. So this operation was started to bring back Indians through flights. Now recently, the government of India launched Swadesh initiative. What is the full form of this Swadesh? It stands for Skilled Workers Arrival Database for Employment Support. So this Swadesh initiative was started for those who returned back to India through this Vande Bharat mission. And for this Swadesh initiative, 3 ministries are going to collaborate. These 3 are Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Ministry of Civil Aviation, and Ministry of External Affairs. What is the corpus of Agriculture Infrastructure Fund that has been recently approved by the Union Cabinet? So it is 1 lakh crore rupee fund. Recently it was approved by the Cabinet, and it is a part of the 20 lakh crore rupee stimulus package. Now apart from this fund, recently 2 other funds were in news. First is PIDF, it is Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. So this was announced by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, and it is going to be a 500 crore rupees fund, out of which 250 crores will be provided by RBI. And this fund will be used for the development of payment infrastructure from Tier 3 to Tier 6 cities and in the northeast states. Apart from that, recently one more fund was in news, and it was Agriculture Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, and this fund is of 15,000 crores. Affordable rental housing complexes are to be developed for migrants and poor under which scheme? So this is going to be a part of PMAY Urban, that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban Component. And as per this scheme, AHRCs will be developed for migrants and for poor people, and nearly 3 lakh people will get benefit under this AHRC initiative. So the idea is to provide affordable renting housing complexes. Nodal ministry is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The National Medicinal Plants Board, that is NMPB, works under which union ministry? So it is under Ministry of Ayush. Now recently it was in news because NMPB signed a memorandum of understanding with ICAR NBPGR. What is ICAR? It is Indian Council of Agricultural Research. What is NBPGR? It is National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. So these 2 organizations signed a memorandum of understanding. Why this memorandum was signed? It was signed to conserve the medicinal and aromatic plants genetic resources. So this NMPB is under Ayush Ministry, and it was established in year 2000. Which public sector general insurance company is not included in the capital infusion of public sector general insurance companies, which was recently approved by Union Cabinet? So recently Union Cabinet approved a capital infusion for 3 public sector companies, and these 3 companies are Oriental Insurance Company Limited, National Insurance Company Limited, and United India Insurance Company Limited. So these 3 are eligible for this capital infusion, and it is going to be a capital infusion of 12,450 crores, and out of which 2500 crores will be infused this year. So these 3 are eligible for the capital infusion, and it is going to be 12,450 crores. Now the headquarters of UIICL, that is United India Insurance Company Limited, is in Chennai. The headquarters of OICL is in New Delhi, and the headquarters of NICL is in Kolkata. Now recently Kolkata was in news as West Bengal government launched its first plasma bank in Kolkata. So it is the first plasma bank of state of West Bengal. Overall in India, the first plasma bank was started in New Delhi, and recently Maharashtra government started a project for plasma trials, and the name of this project is Project Platina. Which country has successfully completed its maiden flight of aircraft fitted with its own high-speed satellite internet system? So this country is China, and it has successfully completed its maiden flight of aircraft which is fitted with its own high-speed satellite internet system. And this internet system was tested on the Qingdao Airlines aircraft. So these were the most important questions of today's quiz. Now we are going to discuss important news. So feel free to skip it if you do not like the format. Now let's start. So first news is related to Nepal. Recently Nepal was in news because of the new political map in which Nepal has tried to show Indian territories as their own. Now Nepal decided to put a ban on the private news channels from India. That means except DD News, Nepal has issued a broadcasting ban on all other Indian news channels in Nepal. This was in the context that Chinese ambassador to Nepal is trying to pressurize Nepali Prime Minister. So please read about who is Chinese ambassador to Nepal. Next news is related to Clean Air Counter. So recently this tool has been launched, and this tool has been launched to estimate the impact of air pollution on the economy as well as on the health. So as per this recent information, New Delhi has the most economic impact in the world from air pollution in the first half of 2020. That means New Delhi was most impacted by the air pollution in economic terms. Next is space technology and artificial intelligence for safeguarding land use. So recently Odisha government used space technology and artificial intelligence for safeguarding the government lands, and therefore Odisha became the first state in India to do so. And for this purpose, Odisha launched Blueis platform. What is the full form of Blueis? It is Bhubaneswar Land Use Intelligence System. So recently this was launched by Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, and that's why it was in news. So Odisha is the first state to use space technology and artificial intelligence for safeguarding its government lands. Next is Amazonia. First, it is an Earth observation satellite which has been developed by Brazil, and it will be launched by ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization. Next is Digital Heart. So this platform has been developed by Bangladesh government for the online sale and purchase of animals ahead of Eid. So this platform has been launched by Bangladesh for the sale and purchase of animals through virtual platform. Next is AIIB L&T Infra Finance Limited. So recently AIIB has released $50 million loan to L&T Infra Finance Limited, and this is the first tranche of total of 100 million loan to L&T, and this loan has been issued for funding renewable energy projects in the country. What is AIIB? It is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Next is Akash Missile. So recently BDL, that is Bharat Dynamics Limited, has signed license agreement and transfer of technology agreement with DRDO. What is DRDO? It is Defense Research and Development Organization. So this license agreement and transfer of technology was done for Akash Missile, and for this purpose BDL, that is Bharat Dynamics Limited, signed agreement with DRDO. Next is India Global Week 2020 conference. So recently this conference was in news as it was inaugurated by Indian Prime Minister. It is a 3-day virtual conference, and this was organized in UK, and the theme of this conference was Be the Revival, India and a Better New World. Next is China's Shandong Binani Ronggon Cement. So recently Ultratech Cement, through its subsidiary Krishna Holdings, decided to sell its entire stakes, that means 92.5% stakes, from China's Shandong Binani Ronggon Cement. Who is going to sell its entire stakes? It is Krishna Holdings. It is the subsidiary of Ultratech Cement. Ultratech Cement is a part of Aditya Birla Group. Next is Net Zero Carbon Emission Mass Transportation Network by 2030. So recently Indian Railway has announced that it is going to be a net zero carbon emission mass transportation network by 2030. Next is Mission Sagar. So this Mission Sagar was launched to extend the India's help to the countries in Indian Ocean in this time of pandemic, and for this purpose, Indian naval ship INS Kesari was deployed. Next is measles and rubella elimination. So recently, as per a statement by WHO, Maldives and Sri Lanka were verified for having eliminated measles and rubella. So these are the first two countries in the WHO Southeast Asian region to achieve measles and rubella elimination, and the target year was 2023. So these countries have eliminated measles and rubella before the target time. So that was all for the day. Now homework. So first homework is golden triangle and golden crescent. Second homework is please read about NCLT and DRT and what is the difference between NCLT and DRT. And third homework is please read about 91st Constitutional Amendment Act. This was in news recently in the context of Madhya Pradesh cabinet expansion. So that was all for the day. Thank you.